through your freedom.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Well, I really believe you can, folks. And the ship is going down and it's getting faster right now. I want to thank everybody for coming over to subscribestar.com. Address down below there. It's going to keep scrolling across. If you want information, if you think free speech is important, we're asking you to come to subscribestar.com and join us at The Prepared Mind. It's only $2 a month. And you will protect free speech and you will get the information and ensure that we are right here doing our job, working with you. Folks, this is an incredible time in American history, in world history. It seems like they're intentionally taking everything down. Just a couple of years ago, the United States was an energy exporting nation. In other words, we made more energy than we consumed. Now it's quite the opposite, and it's getting worse. Ever since Joe Biden came in, they've enacted phase 2 of their Great Reset, and we've been in big, big trouble. Big trouble. Now, even Democrats, in a new poll that has come out, even Democrats, folks, are blaming Joe Biden for the inflation that is crushing people, crippling America. It is horrifying. We haven't seen this since the 1970s, folks. The 1970s, when we came off of the gold standard because there wasn't enough gold, right? There wasn't enough gold to account for all the dollars out there. It is incredible. They've tried saying it's less than 10%, but that's not the inflation I'm feeling. That's not the inflation I'm hearing about at the gas station, in the supermarket, from restaurants, etc. Now, 64% of Democrats said Biden was responsible for choosing, right, what has been done with our energy and other issues here in America. That is a big number. They are not supported, folks. They're not appreciated. You know, what are we to think? The ship is going down in energy, literally energy, whether it's natural gas, coal, gas, and diesel. We're hearing about shortages and we're seeing massive inflation. Right? Biden's pretending like it's Trump's fault. But we have another report from the EIA. And this, of course, is a big deal. U.S. refining capacity, they said, has fallen. Right? It is falling and continuing to fall faster. It's near a decade low. So in the last 10 years, we're producing almost as little as we ever have. And it's falling down. The capacity is lowering. Now, again, it's energy. Whether it's diesel or gasoline or propane or natural gas, energy is what drives the economy. Without energy, we can't do anything. Without energy, we don't have lights. Without energy, we don't have transportation. Without energy, we're not growing food. So what is Biden doing? He's going after oil companies. You remember that? Remember his attack on oil companies, and they responded and said, we're doing all we can. We're trying to upgrade refiners. We're trying to step things up. Well, today Biden comes out and he mocks them again and says, quote, didn't know they'd get their feelings hurt that quickly. Well, what do you expect? President Biden, you're supposed to be the president, and here you are attacking the very people who provide us with the energy we need so we can go to work, so we can raise our families, so we can live a good standard of living. And all these things are dropping, folks. The energy level, the standard of living, the inflation rate as it goes up means our standard of living goes down. Are you prepared, folks? Are you prepared? Do you have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and a means of self-defense in case we have something catastrophic happen? Oh, didn't know they get their feelings hurt that quickly. Who gets their feelings hurt quickly these days, folks? It's the left. They go absolutely bonkers at a single Trump interview or a single Musk tweet. They go bonkers over anyone daring to question their ridiculous liberal, socialist, Marxist ideas and concepts. Yeah, the president went after the oil companies and has made fun of them now. Now, one of the things that they propose, folks, is to suspend the federal gas tax, well, up to the midterm elections. What's interesting is Pelosi and Obama are dismissing this as showbiz and a gimmick. Everything they've done is a gimmick, right? When they locked us down and said, "Don't worry, we're gonna let you push your bills off. You're not gonna have to pay your mortgage or rent." That was a gimmick. It was only temporary, and you got to pay it all back. There was no relief there. It was a gimmick. It was temporary. They're continuing to play these games, folks. Like the stimulus checks. It was a gimmick, right? And we all have to pay it back. In fact, a lot of us got tax bills. I've gotten reports that people were given so much money by the gimmick masters, and then the IRS asked for it back. Said, "Oh, you don't qualify," or "You got too much." This is what happens when you start sharing a bank account with the government. You know, universal basic income, stimulus checks, freebies and handouts and child tax credits and such. You start playing games with them, they get to tell you how much you owe them. And they're not done, folks. They're not done. But back to energy. Back to energy. The United States was an energy exporter less than 2 years ago, folks. Trump did a lot on that. I know there's a lot of Trump lovers and there's people who aren't particularly fond of Trump, but we can all agree that gas was cheaper, that food was cheaper, that life was more certain, that we didn't feel like we were being attacked just for being Americans. But it's here now. Russia, folks. That's right. Russia, oil, Russia, energy. We know what they're doing with Europe. Russia's got Europe by the stuff. It's got them by the junk, a full handful of junk. They're hanging on to Russia's nuts, or Russia's hanging on to Europe's nuts. They want to punish Russia. Well, Russia is punishing them. But on top of that, Russia has now overtaken Saudi Arabia as China's top oil supplier. Interesting, is it not? Russia is the top oil supplier to China. We predicted this, folks. We, me and you, we saw this coming. As soon as they sanctioned Russia, I said, hey, prices go up and they're going to sell to China at a discount and they'll still make more money on the deal. And not only did they start selling oil to China, now they are China's top oil supplier. Is China squealing, just absolutely dying of inflation the way the United States is over the energy crisis? I don't think so. I know all nations are being hurt by the pandemic. It's all part of the plan. Nations are being hurt. But who is being hurt the most and why? And what are the consequences going to be? Well, the ship has hit the iceberg. It's taking on water. It's going down. Are you prepared for where they're going to take us next? Right? Chance favors the prepared mind. It's critical to be prepared. And again, it's critical to have free speech. And without your support, this channel just goes away. And I go get a job pounding nails or doing remodels. But I don't want to do that for a living. I don't want to have to be out there. I'd rather be right here with you. And I need your support. The network needs your support. The entire, folks, United States of America, and indeed the world needs free speech. And it's thankfully, you who are doing it, right? $2 a month, 7 cents a day. I don't think it's too much to ask for free speech and for this type of information. You're not going to hear about this, right? I just covered several items that have just come up today. Mainstream media is going to tell you to go cut your genitals off, or they're going to tell you it's fine that your kids now hate you because of what they're teaching in school. Right? They're going to tell you to go fly a rainbow flag. And I tell them, why don't you go fly a kite? I'm an American, right? We're patriots. We're Americans, and we love our Constitution. We love our Second Amendment, and we love our free speech. So thank you for supporting it here on the Prepared Mind Network and here at subscribestar.com. See you guys very shortly.